Hello teacher, hello everyone. My name is Ngân. My full name Đào Thị Kim Ngân. Today I introduce the Queen Elizabeth of England. Elizabeth of England. Her full name is Elizabeth Alexander Mary, born 21 April 1926 at 17 Brutus Street in Mayfair, London. On 8 September 2022, died of old age at Burmah, cancer in Scotland. As the eight other common words grew from 6 February 1952 until her death in 2022. He was Queen Regent of 22 several stars during her lifetime, 50 of them at the time of her death. Her reign of 17 years and 240 days of the longest of any British monarchs and the longest verified reign of any female normal in history. And Snake, ancestor of Elizabeth. The first George, working of the United Kingdom and the dominion of the British Commonwealth from 11 December 1936 until his death. He was Queen Elizabeth's father. As Elizabeth Neon. Were known as Queen Elizabeth of Queen Mother to avoid confusion with her daughter, Queen Elizabeth. And next, education of Elizabeth. During her lifetime, not only in last streets line, the education of Queen Elizabeth were also something that many people embraced. Reason Elizabeth was her younger sister. Having students with top teacher, Queen Elizabeth had become an admirable economic figure from the age of 6. Elizabeth was considered to have a special gift of history and music. After finishes her formal education, he blew us in many languages such as French, German, Spanish, and attend a double degree from 4 university. It's easy to see that thanks to good education from an early age, it has contributed to save the illustrious line of Queen Elizabeth, one of the most important girls in world history in this century 30, 32, and 31. – Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Hoài, and now I will talk about the story of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. And the first time Elizabeth and Philip crossed paths was at the 1934 wedding of Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark and Princess Robert, just a cat. Phyllis was 13 and Elizabeth was just 8 years old. And at the point she was not in line to ever inherit the throne. She only became the heir at the age of 10 when her uncle Edward VIII, who would have been king, a ticket to purchase is our love story. And they missed again in 1939, this time when Philip and then 18 and Ravi Officer Cadiz Harper and Custer, 13 years old Princess Elizabeth around Dasmart, Royal Navy's College. According to author and historian Tina Rose, it was at the meeting. At this meeting, Rose said us where this love story truly began. And the couple were engaged just 8 years later with an official announcement on July the 9th July in 1947, according to the royal family website. According to Crown, his proposed to her as the Bonner orchestra. The ring included a diamond from a Tirabas longer to his mother. Just 4 months later, a royal wedding was held on November 20th of November in 1947 at London Westminster Abbey. And Elizabeth was the 10th member of the royal family to be wed at the iconic chat. Although her was made history to the birth to ever be televised. Elizabeth's dress was designed especially for the occasion, with record of ongoing work is rationing measures they had to use clothing, recent cover to pay for it. And the Shaitis dress were imported in Chrysler and 10 million pounds imported from US and had a 15-foot shape torch chain. The HS Regain wedding also saw a 9-foot high case and 2,500,000 gate, including one from India, paragon of democracies, and before protest Mahatma Gandhi immediately after the ceremony. And then Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip, now the Duke and Antirin, went to Buckingham Place, where they stood on the balcony to wait 2,000 people who has found the area to celebrate official start of their flight together. And the couple then set up for a honeymoon in Hampshire, England, and at the Palmer Astro or alongside the best local resources. And in November in 1948, just day before that, the first anniversary at the West gave birth to her first son, Charles. Charles went on to famously wedding and then destroyed the last Diana and eventually married Camilla Duchess of Cornwall in 2005. Upon Elizabeth's death on Thursday, Charles' automatic ascended to the throne to become King Charles III. And the couple had their second child and only daughter Annie in 1950s. She was known as Princess Annie until June 1987, when the Queen gave her the title of the Princess Power. Annie married her first husband, Captain Max Philip in 1973, and were among the first of her three siblings to get divorces, with separation finalists in 1992. And she remains married that same year, following her coronation in 1953. Elizabeth gave birth to Prince Andrew Charles in 1960. And Elizabeth and Philip were Charles Ashworth was born in 1964, and he's known as Prince Ashworth until he married his wife Sophia George in 1999. As we learned, they were named the S and Curtis of Wessex. He is so far the only of Elizabeth and Philip trying to not get to this word. And Below told us the part of their scenery, the longest in Christian royal history. Please wonder for keeping the Queen still happy and loving. Philip kept the Queen well, that's why she loved him so. Frost said he has a strong sense of humor. He was incredibly inspiring. He always makes her laugh, and he always told her the chat. And that's what she loved about him. On 20th of November in 1997, to mark their 50th anniversary, Queen Elizabeth said of her husband, "He is someone who doesn't take easier to compliment, but he has quite simply been my strength and stay all this year, and I am his whole family, and this and many other country over him to death greater than he would ever claim or we shall ever know." And the Aaron died in April 2021 at 99 years old, just 7 months short of what would have been his and Elizabeth's 74th anniversary. Philip spent much of his final month in isolation with the Queen at Windsor Castle. As the coronavirus pandemic ravaged the world, each one of their final major acts together to cover got vaccinated against COVID-19 in July 2021. And at Heathrow, viral swallowed princess alert in the pier as her beloved husbands were memorialized. Ross said that in the final years of Philip's life, he and Queen spent together more time than they have ever spent in their entire life, because they were locked down together in Windsor Castle in their couple. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Đặng Ngọc, member from Group 9. I would like to present you about the reign of the Queen Elizabeth II. My talk will have two main parts. The first is accession and coronation of the Queen and the Queen's role in the Commonwealth. So first, accession and coronation. Rose VI held this line during 1951, and Elizabeth frequently stood in for him at public events. On February 6, 1952, Rose VI died. Elizabeth and Philip have a tour of Australia and New Zealand by the way of the Britain colony of Kenya, and they had just returned to their Kenya home after a night spent at the Treetop Hotel when word arrived of the death of Elizabeth's father. Elizabeth took over the British throne, taking the title of Elizabeth II. Her official coronation ceremony took place just over a year later. She was a proclaimed queen throughout her reign and the royal. And this is a photo of coronation of the Queen Elizabeth II in 1953. Next is the Queen role in Commonwealth. In a speech of the Queen Elizabeth, she talked, "I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it long or short, souls be devoted to your survival and the survival of your great imperial family to which we all belong." Elizabeth attested to throne following the death of her father, Rose VI. While the role of head of Commonwealth is not a hereditary one, she also assumed the position. At her accession, the Commonwealth were a body of 8 states, including Canada, Australia, India, and Pakistan, which have been a peer territory. Its model from a group of free and equal members has been established only 3 years previously when the London Declaration was signed. The heads of Commonwealth, the Queen, played an important symbolic and unflying role, reinforcing and linked by the Commonwealth join people together across the globe. And the Queen had played a lengthy neutral role as Commonwealth head, staying out of its major life, with many undertaken in the context of Cold War rally and tension over decolonization. Their visit aimed to strengthen and Commonwealth despite its racial and ideological division. And Commonwealth Church and initiative set up in her Queen name, the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee worked to combat avoid cause blindness and eye treatment to help eliminate actually in 7 Commonwealth countries. And the church also launched the Queen Young Leader program, which were intended to recognize young people who were supporting their community, both local and worldwide, through a series of extraordinary initiatives, from using technology to improve healthcare in remote areas and Commonwealth to helping reach young people through S program. And the Queen Young Leader received training, mentoring, and networking opportunity to support their network. And Queen Elizabeth II is an iconic character. Elizabeth II wasn't just a queen, she was a character too. The Queen Elizabeth II is the most important royal symbol in the world because she reigned in 50 out of 43 monarchy states. The subject of Queen Elizabeth II lies in 4 continents: Asia, Europe, America, and Australia, with more than 151 million people. During her more than 70 years of reign, England had 15 prime ministers, and United States has 14 presidents. She is the monarch of 15 kingdoms of the Commonwealth, including Great Britain, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Jamaica, and other countries. She had a long reigning monarch in British history and the second longest in the after King Louis, and if considered as a female ruler, she is the longest holding man in the history of the world. This is all of my present.
Hello everyone, my name is Trần and today I will talk about the Queen's most outstanding achievement while holding the throne for 70 years. So, Queen Elizabeth II is considered one of the greatest monarchs in the world. She is the UK's longest reigning monarch with more than 70 years of dedication to her country and people. Looking back on a journey of 7 decades with many events and ups and downs, the Queen of England had made her own mark with a series of outstanding achievements. Let's also look back at the highlight of Queen Elizabeth II during her 70 years reign that changed the history of the world, making millions of people admired. Firstly, a symbol of stability. The Queen of England has become a symbol of stability as the world changed from the way it has been socially, culturally, politically, and technologically over the past decades. Over the past 7 decades, the world has witnessed many ups and downs, but the Queen of England still stays the royal family, bringing her region to flourish. Over the past time, the British royal family has witnessed many sad cases. Prince Philip died, Meghan and her husband left, Prince Andrew got involved in a scandal. However, the Queen of England and her family overcome it, be stormy, and she and the key members continue to make the path to rural development. Secondly, constantly innovating and modernizing. The Queen of England is always ready to modernize the royal family and embracing. She brought the image of the royal family closer to the public. Her coronation was the first royal event to be broadcast on television. Since 1976, the Queen had become the first monarch and one of the first in the world to send an email. In 1997, she launched a website detailing the charity and work of the royal family. During the past 7 decades, the Queen of England has regularly appeared in the mass media and adopted new technologies. She sent her first royal tweet in 2014. The Queen is also the first monarch to record her annual Christmas message on video and in 2018, the Queen posted her first royal Instagram post during a visit to British Screen Museum, London. Thirdly, tireless charity work. One of Queen Elizabeth II's greatest achievement is her great effort in supporting various charities. According to the reading, the Queen had given more to charity than any other monarch in history. In fact, she is noticed as one of the world's most prolific advocates of philanthropy, according to Virgin magazine. The Queen has supported more than 600 charities in the UK. Meanwhile, the royal family also officially support nearly 3,000 charities around the world through patronage right. The Queen and her family have ensured that charity had royal support at all times. This had contributed to improving the lives of millions of people. And great spiritual support. Rarely has a monarch brought such great spiritual encouragement as the Queen of England at any difficult time of the country. The Queen of England always appears and has propounded speeches encouraging everyone's spirit. Every year, the British people wait for meaningful messages from the head of the royal family to help them overcome many difficulty and challenges. The Queen gives the people a great confidence. Any word of here is given. The public is warmly welcomed and fully supported. During the COVID-19 outbreak in the UK, the Queen gave a rare video speech on April 5, 2020 to preserve the people that they would get the pandemic under control. We will succeed, and that success will belong to each of us. They may suffer more, but better days will return, she said from Windsor Castle. And then Buckingham Palace ensured that she passes away peacefully on the afternoon of September 8 local time at Balmoral Castle in Scotland because of illness and old age. Buckingham Palace fly the flag at half-staff at 6 p.m. local time. The official annual statement of the Queen's departure is posted outside the palace. Queen Elizabeth was interred after a state funeral at Westminster Abbey in London, attended by leaders from many countries around the world. More than 26 million British watched the first television funeral for a British monarch. Immediately after hearing the news of the Queen's death, despite the pouring rain, people gathered in large numbers at Buckingham Palace in London and laid flowers in memory. Queen Elizabeth II's departure will remind people in Britain and abroad, including the Commonwealth of 54 member states, of the unifying role she had played over the decades. Recently, when Queen Elizabeth II is admired by the international community, and she had made visits to more than 1,000 countries during her reign. So she was a symbol of continuity during the 7 decades when he went through upheaval. Her absence will cost the UK a foundation that has provided stability for the country for so long.